Hello, today we'll be talking about Venusaur, the first final form in Pokemon. It's the final form of Bulbasaur and the evolution of Ivysaur at level 32. The previous PYC dates are February 29th, 1996, December 20th, 1998, October 10th, 2001, July 31st, 2004, May 22nd, 2007, March 12th, 2010, December 31st, 2012, October 22nd, 2015, August 12th, 2018, and June 2nd, 2021. This is the first video to feature alternate forms of a Pokemon. In this case, Mega Venusaur and Gigantamax Venusaur. The original Venusaur design is good. It's classic. I enjoy how it goes from a ball to a flower to a full plant. Despite this, my favorite of the three forms of Venusaur is Mega Venusaur. Not only does it continue the plant, I also love the colors. Gigantamax Venusaur is alright, I guess. Well, the images anyway. I haven't played Pokemon Sword and Shield, so I don't know if the model looks better than the official image. As for my connection with Venusaur, I most remember it in the first movie when it's controlled by Mewtwo. Let's learn more about Venusaur by reading the Bulbapedia entry. And welcome back to the Bulbapedia segment of this video. We're talking about Venusaur now. Yes. So, obviously we always start with here in the info box. So, Venusaur, it's a seed Pokemon. It's the third Pokemon. It's numbered 0003. But of course, we're not just talking about Venusaur, we're talking about Mega Venusaur and Gigantamax Venusaur. So this is the original. Here's the Mega form, Gigantamax form. You can see the differences, you know, the palm, like in the Mega Venusaur, you got the head flower and the little symbols here. And, you know, it might be a little bit broader stance. Of course, you know, there's the little vines that come off the tree, so yeah, that's pretty cool, right? And those seem to just be all one spot rather than multiple spots. I've never noticed that before. And then of course you got it like folded the other way, you know, where it's mostly the plant itself, very little leaves here. Yeah. Type is grass poison still abilities overgrow and chlorophyll as a hidden ability, but now Mega Venusaur has thick fat as its ability. Its gender ratio is still 87.5 and 12.95% female. Yeah. Catch rate is 45. It's monster and grass egg groups. Its hatch time is 20. Again, what? I don't know. Height is 607, 2 meters. That would be this Venusaur. Its weight. Venusaur's weight is 20.5 or 100 kilograms. 7'10" is Mega Venusaur, or 2.4. 342.8. 155.5 is Mega Venusaur. It is over 78. It's at least 78 feet and 9 inches, or above 24 meters, I guess. And we don't know its weight, I guess. And that's Gigantamax Venusaur. The Mega Stone is Venusaurite. Base experience yield is 208 the first 4 generations, and Gen 5 onwards is 236. Now that's a significant difference between the other two, with it being nothing and 1. Yeah. Medium slow rate, leveling, EV, it now has 3. Now 2 in special attack and 1 in defense. Its shape is that. Its footprint is that. Its green Pokedex, not color. Base friendship is 70, and then here's all the links for the other things again. Okay, then we've got the main paragraph here. Venusaur is a dual-type grass-poison Pokemon introduced in Gen 1. It evolves from Ivysaur starting at level 32. It is the final form of Bulbasaur. Venusaur has 2 forms, Mega Venusaur and Gigantamax Venusaur. It can Mega Evolve into Mega Venusaur using Venusaurite, and can Gigantamax into Gigantamax Venusaur. It has the Gigantamax factor. Gigantamax Venusaur was introduced in the Isle of Armor. Venusaur is the game mascot of Pokemon Green, and its remake Pokemon Leaf Green, appearing on the box art of both games. Biology: Venusaur is a squat quadrupedal amphibian Pokemon with a bumpy blue green skin. It has small circular red eyes and a short blunt snout. Its mouth is wide with 2 pointed teeth in the upper jaw and 4 in the lower jaw. On the top of its head are small pointed ears with reddish-pink insides. It has 3 clawed toes on each foot. The bulb on its back has bloomed into a large pink, white spotted flower. The flower is supported by a thick brown trunk, surrounded by green fronds. Female Venusaur has a seed in the center of its flower. Venusaur uses its flower to catch sunlight's rays to convert them into energy, which causes the flower to become more vibrant. The flower releases a soothing scent that attracts Pokemon and calms emotions. This scent becomes stronger after a rainy day. Venus is at strongest in the summertime when there's much more sunlight to absorb. As shown in Pokemon Sleep, Venusaur releases a soothing fragrance while sleeping. In the anime, Venusaur has demonstrated the ability to manipulate nature, release several vines from its back, and lead evolution ceremonies for Bulbasaur and Ivysaur. This Pokemon is rarely found in the wild, but is known to inhabit green grasslands. And of course, we have a picture here of Venusaur with closing its bulb, showing that it can do that, I guess. Its forms: Venusaur has two forms, Mega Venusaur and Gigantamax Venusaur. When Mega evolved, the flower on Venusaur's back grows larger, and two smaller pink flowers bloom. One on its forehead and one on its rear. Oh, I never known that before. Its legs and back have become sturdier to support the extra weight of the flower. Additional leaves with woody stems, which are supported by vines, are also grown around the flower. Mega Venusaur also develops dark markings on its forehead below the new flower on its forehead. Yes, it's kind of redundant, but again, can't edit that to fix it. As Gigantamax Venusaur becomes larger, with its flower blooming even further to the point of covering its body. These flowers have a taller bud, along with extremely thick and springy petals that are capable of shielding Gigantamax Venusaur. Its eyes have light green sclerae, I guess, and orange irises. Yeah, it does. More foliage grows from under its flower, and the trunk that supports that flower becomes shorter. It has several light green markings located located at its belly. Oh yeah, you can kind of see that down here. And again, something I never noticed. Gigantamax Venusaur attacks with its thick vines, which are powerful enough to topple down a 10-story building. Gigantamax Venusaur's flower can similarly spread through pollen to resemble a volcanic eruption. Breathing in this pollen can cause uncontrollable seizing, and inhaling large amounts can even cause fainting. However, this pollen also promotes plant growth in areas where it lands. Gigantamax Venusaur is the only known Pokemon capable of using the G-Max move, G-Max Vine Lash. Its evolution evolves from Ivysaur, its final form Bulbasaur. Yeah, we've been through this before. In the anime, you've got many different versions, many things here. Oh yeah, you can see the seed of the female Venusaur here that they mentioned earlier. Yeah, you got all this. You can read it if you'd like. I'm not going to, though. Okay. Pokedex entries. So we got the Ash's Pokedex in episode 51. Venusaur, the final form of the Bulbasaur evolution. The seed Pokemon soaks up the sun's rays as a source of energy. Episode 248. In Ash's Pokedex again. Venusaur, the seed Pokemon. Venusaur uses its large petals to counter sunlight and transform it into energy. Then we got X and Y, episode 99, in Serena's Pokedex. Venusaur, the seed Pokemon. When Venusaur spreads out its large flower petals and absorbs the rays of the sun, it becomes energized. Then we got Sun and Moon, episode 142, the Rotom Pokedex. Venusaur, the seed Pokemon, a grass and poison type. The giant flower on its back collects large amounts of sunlight, which it can turn into energy. And they just still don't know what JN means, but the Ash's Rotom phone, I guess it's part of the old anime. I don't know if it's like the last season. I don't know. Or I don't know. Venusaur, the seed Pokemon, a grass and poison type. It's believed that a nutritious diet and lots of sunlight make Venusaur's flower bloom in more vibrant colors. The flower scent can calm and heal the human heart. This is in Pokemon Evolutions. I don't know what that means yet. I don't know what that is. So, yeah, that's this, I guess. I don't know if it's part of the Pokemon Origins series. I don't know. Here's the manga. That's what appears in Pokemon Adventures. Got all these, the Mewtwo's and the... Yeah, moving down to the TCG, the TFG, other appearances, Super Smash Bros., the original Venusaur is one of the Pokemon that can appear from the gate on the rooftop of Silph and the Saffron City stage. Venusaur will occasionally fire Razor Leaves at any character in front of it. Super Smash Bros. Melee, when Venusaur is released from a Pokeball, it uses the move Earthquake, which Venusaur couldn't learn until Gen 3, which acts similarly to Donkey Kong's Down Special. Any player caught in this will be sent flying. Venusaur is also a part of the stage in Poco Floats. The front half will push itself onto the screen. The front half will push itself onto the screen first, will begin to move to the left after Snorlax leaves the screen. I think there's supposed to be an and there. Trophy information. Evolving from Ivysaur, this deceptive toxic Pokemon has a large flower on its back that emits a cloying fragrance. The scent lulls its enemies into a state of calmness. Venusaur's flower synthesizes sunshine into pure energy for its solar beam move. Think of grass-type Pokemon, and Venusaur comes first. I'm not sure that I agree with that, but sure. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Venusaur is briefly mentioned in Ivysaur's trophy description. We talked about that yesterday. Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U. The Mega Venusaur appears as a trophy in both versions of the game. See it over here. Well, now we can read the description. Trophy information. With a special type of Megastone called Venusaurite, Venusaur can Mega Evolve into Mega Venusaur. In the middle of a battle, not only does Venusaur get a large defensive boost, but it Mega Evolves, with the plants on its back grow so much, it looks like you're being attacked by a walking jungle. Now that's got to be intimidating. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Venusaur reprises its role as a stage element in the returning Saffron City stage. It's also a spirit, which is a thing in the game. I think it's something you can summon. Pokemon Unite. Venusaur is playable through obtaining a Unite license, I guess is a thing in the game. It is a ranged attacker that starts as Bulbasaur and evolves into Ivysaur at level 5, which evolves into Venusaur at level 9. That is a much faster evolution than in the mainline games. Venusaur and Pokemon Unite, that's what it looks like. It's Pokedex entries. In Red and Green, like Ivysaur, it didn't have a thing yet. Red and Blue, the plant blooms when it is absorbing solar energy. It stays on the move to seek sunlight. Yellow, the flower on its back catches the sun's rays. The sunlight is then absorbed and used for energy. In Stadium, absorbs solar energy as nutrition. When it is catching the sun's rays, it often remains quiet and still. In Gen 2, Gold, by spreading its broad petals of its flower and catching the sun's rays, it fills its body with power. Silver, it is able to convert sunlight into energy. As a result, it is more powerful in the summertime. Crystal, as it warms itself, it absorbs the sunlight. Its flower petals release a pleasant fragrance. Hitting 2, by spreading the broad petals of its flower and catching the sun's rays, it fills its body with power. Ruby and Sapphire in Gen 3, there is a large flower on Venusaur's back. The flower is said to take on vivid colors if it gets plenty of nutrition and sunlight. The flower's aromas soothe the emotions of people. An Emerald, Venusaur's flower is said to take on vivid colors if it gets plenty of nutrition and sunlight. The flower's aroma soothes the emotions of fi Fire Red, a bewitching aroma wafts from its flower. The fragrance becalms those engaged in a battle. Green, the plant blooms when it is absorbing solar energy. It stays on the move to seek sunlight. In Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, in Gen 4, after a rainy day, the flower on its back smells stronger. The scent attracts other Pokemon. Heart Gold, by spreading the broad petals of its flower and catching the sun's rays, it fills its body with power. Soul Silver, it is able to convert sunlight into energy. As a result, it is more powerful in the summertime. In Gen 5, Black and White and Black and White 2, Black 2 and White 2, rather, same Pokedex entry, I don't know why they're not combined. After a rainy day, the flower on its back smells stronger. The scent attracts other Pokemon. In Gen 6 and X, by spreading the broad petals of its flower, and catching the sun's rays, it fills its body with power. In Y, after a rainy day, the flower on its back smells stronger. The scent attracts other Pokemon. Omega Ruby. There is a large flower on Venusaur's back. The flower is said to take on vivid colors if it gets plenty of nutrition and sunlight. The flower's aroma soothes the emotions of people. Then we go to Let's Go games in Gen 7. This is just normal Venusaur. The flower on its back catches the sun's rays. The sunlight is then absorbed and used for energy. Then we have Mega Venusaur. In order to support its flower, which has grown large due to Mega Evolution, its back and legs have become stronger. So Sword, and this is Gen 8, its plant blooms when it's absorbing solar energy. It stays on the move to seek sunlight. Shield, a bewitching aroma wafts from its flower. The fragrance becomes those engaged in a battle. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. After a rainy day, the flower on its back smells stronger. The scent attracts other Pokemon. This is Gigantamax Venusaur. In battle, this Pokemon swings around 2 thick vines. If these vines slammed into a 10-story building, they could easily topple it. In Shield, huge amounts of pollen burst from it with the force of a volcanic eruption. Breathing in too much of the pollen can cause fainting. Gen 9, in Scarlet. While it basks in the sun, it can convert the light into energy. As a result, it is more powerful in the summertime. In Violet, by spreading the broad petals of its flowers and catching the sun's rays, it fills its body with power. Now this is interesting. It's like a family. I was not expecting that. It's like, yeah, it's like a little family of, and you got the Bulbasaurs, the Ivysaurs, and presumably the mom and the dad, because of the dad and mom. Male and female anyway. Yeah, that's kind of cute. Does look okay. Anyway, these are the little game locations. Again, I'm not gonna read these. You can read them. You can slow down and read them yourself if you want. But in the side games, again, here's where you find them. In the events, all these things. Held items. Pokemon caught in Generation 1 must be traded into Gen 2 game in order for a held item to appear, and that would be a Bitterberry. Base stats, so its HP is 80. You can go into these. 82. You can go to these. Defense is 83. To these, special attack is 100. To these, special defense is 100. To these, speed is 80. To these, so it makes it a 525. Yeah. Total stat base thing. I don't know. These are all these. So then, apparently, its special base stat was 100 for the Mega Venusaur. Oh, good. Okay, so let's try to compare them if we can. So 80, that stays the same. 100, that goes up, the attack. Yeah, defense 123 rather than 83. So it used to be 100 to 122, 100 to 120. Speed's still just the same. So it's only really just adds 100 base stat total. Here's its Pokéthon stats, still don't know what that means. Type effectiveness. So Venusaur, this is just a normal Venusaur. It is damaged normally by normal, poison, ground, rock, bug, ghost, steel, dragon, dark. Weak to flying, fire, psychic, and ice for double damage. Immune to nothing, resistant to fighting, water, grass, electric, and fairy. And it's resistant, and it does half damage fighting, water, electric, and fairy do. And grass is 1/4 again, and then in Generation 1, the effectiveness of bug type was quadrupled. So, yeah. This is Mega Venusaur now, under normal battle conditions in Gen 9. Okay, sorry. It's damaged by 1 time. Is there really any difference here? Oh, I guess fire is now 1 time, and so is ice. Yeah, so those change. Still not resistant to anything. And these are all the same weaknesses. Okay, yeah. Venusaur is available in Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, okay, sorry, I don't know why. Okay, again, I don't know how, but Evo is Petal, Blizzard, I guess. Razor Leaf, okay. Somewhere around here. Okay, Synthesis, Worry Seed, Power Whip, and Solar Beam. Because I've already kind of talked about these, I think. TM again. I'm sorry if there's any new ones. I'm not reading all of these again. Yeah, so these all exist, I guess. And these are, by breeding. I think we've talked about this before. All this. Our prior evolution, again, doesn't have anything. These are the side game information. You got all these. All this stuff. Okay, browser entry for Pokemon Ranger. Venusaur spits out large seeds. They sprout giant vines that get in the way. For Pokemon Ranger Guardian signs, it attacks by shooting seeds. So much faster. Venusaur is the zone keeper, protecting the Meadow Zone. He's the attraction chief of Venusaur's Swing 2. Safety is his main concern. You can see all these shuffles and Pokemon Go's and... Okay, the photo decks. The aroma of the flower on Venusaur's back soothes the Pokemon around it. Smaller Pokemon by the waterside certainly look relaxed and comfortable as they play with it. There's a costume in Pokemon Go. Clone, I guess. This might be referring to the movie. Okay, this is how it goes from... That's how Mega evolves, then it's gotta have the factor, then you have to have the Dynamax band, I guess. So this normal evolution, you know that. Red and green, of course, so it keeps the sort of gold flower from Ivysaur, making it into a full, a thing. Kind of becoming a little bit more orange, but generally keeping that same idea. And of course, in Gen 4 we introduced gender differences, so then we get to see the little seed there at the top versus no seed for the men, for the males rather. And then you can see it again, the females, male, shiny, yeah, you get the idea. Here's the models, X and Y, and then Gen 7, you got all these models, got the Megas now, to see how the shinies, how they look. Apparently, I guess there's no difference in gender for the Megas, that's just it, okay. And then let's go, those genders and the Megas, and Sword and Shield, then you've got the Gigantamax models, which actually admittedly do look a little bit better than the other, but yeah, that definitely looks better than the art does. But I'm fascinated to know what it actually looks like in game, so we'll have to wait for a while for that. But yeah, so we got all these, and then just kind of what they look like in the official home thing. It just kind of looks like more like a 3D version of the art, of the 2D art, but whatever. And you got other sprites. It's Fire, Red, and Leaf Green credits sprite. Okay, so trivia: Venusaur shares its height, 6'7" or 2 meters, weight 220.5 or 100 kilograms, an egg group, monster grass with another grass type Pokemon, Tropius. Venusaur is among Ken Sugimori's favorite Pokemon. However, it is his least favorite Pokemon to draw due to its complex design. I mentioned Venusaur's number is in the National Pokedex, and the Fiore browser is the same, 3. If the player chooses Charmander as their first partner Pokemon in Pokemon Red and Blue, or locks themselves out of receiving Bulbasaur in Pokemon Yellow, it is impossible to get Venusaur registered in the Pokedex without trading. There's no NPC in said games uses Venusaur under this condition. In Fire Red and Leaf Green, Cool Trainer Albert uses a Venusaur in knockout mode at the Trainer Tower. Venusaur appears in Pokemon Battle Chess. It behaves like a rook piece in chess. Origin, according to Ken Sugimori, in a Japanese interview discussing the Pokemon franchise, Venusaur and its pre-evolutions were inspired by frogs, particularly its short, stout appearance, ear-like protrusions on its head, and thick fat ability on Mega Venusaur together make it resemble horned frogs. Unlike Bulbasaur's, Venusaur's ears have hollows indicating that they are in fact ears and not glands, as seen in many species of frogs and toads. Due to the English name of this Pokemon, containing the suffix "sor," it's common for some fans to believe this Pokemon is based on some prehistoric reptile. However, this Pokemon's original Japanese name, that, makes no reference to reptiles, so believing that Venusaur is based on some reptile should be considered erroneous and false. The flower on its back resembles the Rafflesia arnoldi, I guess. Name origin could be a combination of Venus, referring to the Venus flytrap plant, or venom and dinosaur. Then all these again, strange material. All these again, Smash Bros. And these guys, and tomorrow we'll talk about Charmander. Yeah, and that's everything. Now let's move on to Venusaur's first scene in the anime. Hello and welcome to the anime section of the video. We are watching episode 20, The Ghost of Maiden's Peak. I was originally going to do the full scene. I recorded it, but that got copyrighted, so we are instead just going to watch the main few seconds where Venusaur appears. So if you're unfamiliar with the anime, this is Squirtle, this is Bulbasaur. They are Pokemon of Ash Ketchum, the main character. And yeah, so here we go. So they're fighting. So that's Ghastly. I can talk in this version.
Here are Bulbasaurs and Squirtles.
That's Venusaur and Blastoise.
Venusaur and Blastoise.
Yeah.
And just for fun, I'll combine them into one super Pokemon.
Yep.
To make Venusaur. Try that on for size.
Do it again. So here we are. So that's it. Yeah, this is kind of wrapping up this fight here. This is interesting. This probably wouldn't fly in modern day television to use a cross. That's everything. I hope you enjoyed this section. Now let's move on to Detective Pikachu. So this is the Detective Pikachu section of the video. So I like to funnily call it Detective Venusaur since it's only the frames with Venusaur. To the best of my abilities, I may have missed some here and there, or assumed a Pokemon was Venusaur when it really wasn't. So, you know, forgive me if I do that. So you can't really see him here. He's there, but I should probably introduce the scene first, huh? So this is Tim, our main character. He is entering Rhyme City, a city where Pokemon and humans interact. They coexist. So this is the scene. So let's continue. So there's another one up here. There he is. Still Sam with Shabling and got. Okay, so this scene, it's a night market, I guess. And in this scene, we have a whole bunch of Pokemon. We're not going to introduce all of them like I did in the last one, but, so, Tim, he has had, he's just learned, he's just met, Detective Pikachu, and Detective Pikachu can talk in this movie. And he's freaking out about it. It's a whole thing. And so our Venusaur friend, they are here. Yes, kind of. Yeah, you can see a little bit of it. There's not really much in this film, but they're here.
Can you hear him talking? You can hear him saying words.
So this scene, this is much later in the film. So Tim and Detective Pikachu have uncovered this big conspiracy, kind of. Anyway, Howard Clifford, the founder of Rhyme City, has released this gas from these floats during a parade in the film, and so the gas causes Pokemon to freak out. I didn't mention this 2 days ago when I probably should have, but yes, the gas causes Pokemon to go crazy, and we didn't really get to see a lot in the first one, so I didn't really think I needed to bring it up, but it will cause them to go all crazy. But also, it allows Howard, who is controlling Mewtwo, a man-made experiment. He's a weird-looking thing. You'll know him when you see him. Or know them? I don't think they have a gender. Anyway, but yeah, it allows Howard / Mewtwo to combine people with Pokemon. I don't remember if that's really in this part of the scene. It might be more in the last one, in the Bulbasaur one, which I do recommend watching. So yeah, so our Venusaur friend is here. Let's continue the movie. And that was it. Okay, now we're at the end of the movie. The plot has been undone, and the twist has been revealed that the reason why Pikachu can talk is he had the soul of Tim's dad, Harry Goodman, and so they're kind of reconciling, like, So Tim in the film doesn't live in Rhyme City. He comes from a different town. And so, like, they have, there's this bond, like, will he stay? You know, there's this question, will he stay in Rhyme City? Will he leave? Right now, you know, he's planning on leaving, but we'll get a little bit of that scene today, and then, of course, over the next few weeks, we'll probably see more of it, and you can probably put all these together if you wanted to, but don't do that. I'm not telling you to legally do that. So anyway, we got a Venusaur over here. Let's just continue with this.
See ya.
He's walking up the stairs, and there's the credits. And here's all these. So, for that, as I mentioned in the last video, if there were any, like, I didn't go through the credits, that big flashy sequence at the end there, because there were so many Pokemon, and I just assumed that it was kind of a loop of Pokemon, so Venusaur's probably in all the frames in there. Might not be. Oh well, sorry. Goodbye. Honestly, this isn't my favorite design, even though it isn't terribly inaccurate. I suppose it just isn't as cute as Bulbasaur. Anyway, let's see why people love Venusaur. Let's move on to fan art. Hi, everyone. Okay, we're on the third one. Hopefully by now you know how this works. We do, since nobody has sent me fan art, we are gonna go ahead and react to these, to art, to Deviant art. We'll show the artist, etc., etc. Some we've already done before, and we go until there isn't Venusaur on the screen. So through all these arts, I can already tell maybe which one we're gonna do, but we'll see. Yep. Okay, let's get going. So we got this Venusaur. It's a cute Venusaur sleeping next to a Bulbasaur. That's very cute. It's by Kendall Hale Art. Yes. See, their name's also here. They also have a Tumblr if you want to support them there. Then we got this one again by Francis John. You know, we have the three Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur. It's a cool stylized thing. Then we have these. It's Gen 1, the starters and all their evolutions. So we got a cute little Santa Claus, or Santa hat, Bulbasaur, then an Ivysaur, then a Venusaur. Then we've got Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard, then Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise. And these cool very art. It's by Ainley, I think. It's called Gen 1, 2015. Apparently they have a website, ainley.net. So, you know, support them. This one again, we've talked about this the last couple days as well. We got ourselves our boy Bulbasaur here. Then, or girl, I mean, I don't know. Then we've got of Ivysaur. Then, of course, Venusaur and Mega Venusaur. It's from before. If you haven't watched the other videos, it's before Gigantamax was a thing. It's from 2016, so it's odd green again. Yes, so check them out. Yeah, okay, then we've got this cool, maybe realistic-y looking one, if they were based on, like, lizards. So we've got, you know, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur here. You know, a little bit different than what we got in Detective Pikachu, but still pretty cool. It's actually from way before Detective Pikachu was even in production, so 2014. It's by Lindsay W. Art, Pokemon Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur is the name here. Yeah, you can see all three of them. Then we got the garden again, the secret garden. We've got, you know, Bulbasaur in the center there, Ivysaur on the sides, and Venusaur, and you got the cool tree you didn't really comment on yesterday, so I saw Dewey, it's from 2012, so that's cool. Then we've got this cool design from 2012 from Arvalis, so it shows the evolutionary line with some, I don't remember what those are, like Ninjask probably. Just sort of surrounding it, you know, surrounding the flower, and I believe this individual was partially responsible for creating the look of Detective Pikachu. That was pretty cool. Looks like there's also another bug Pokemon down here. I can't really tell what it is, but yeah, yeah, they make a bunch of these sort of evolutionary lines, and that was kind of probably cool for them to work officially, you know, kind of merging their style with the original, or they're more of the original style. You can kind of tell where they sort of took inspiration from with their art style there. Anyway, here it is, our first non-Venusaur art. So obviously we have to stop. It's really cool and really scary, but Lindsay Wakefield, you know, it's really scary. I'm gonna stop looking at it now. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks to everyone who submitted fan art. That's everything for Venusaur. I won't be streaming tonight as I won't be able to evolve Ivysaur into Venusaur until I've covered Rattata, so I'll be doing it then. As for Mega Venusaur and Gigantamax Venusaur, I'll have to wait until I've covered the Gen 6 and 8 Pokemon, respectively. Tomorrow I'll cover Charmander. As always, this isn't my proper outfit, and you'll see me tomorrow.
Pat me, it's me, fingering me.